Who doesn't love the waifus like Harry from League of Legends? Well, Guild of Guardian just released their own waifu, and is called Tamamo. That is one of the 2 new Guardians that will be available till July 3rd. And in today's video I will show you how to get them inside the game, or even in the NFT version. We will even check all their skill and see how good they actually are. So let's jump right into it. I will even give away the new epic Herne, so just drop a like, a comment and subscribe to my channel for try to win the new Guardian. So how do we actually get Tamamo and Herne? We can get them inside the game, so essentially the Web 2 version, or we can even buy the NFT version, so essentially the Web 3 version. I will show both of the ways. So the first way, so essentially in-game, is going into summon, and as you can see there will be a limited banner. Why is this limited? Because it will last only till July 3rd. So if you want to try to eggroll Tamamo, you gotta do this now. And as you can see, is using this type of stone, so not the normal summoning but like the premium one. Every 30 roll you will have a guaranteed legendary there, but is not assured that it will be Tamamo. As you can see, you can even check the probability. It has only 0.2% of probability, so pretty low. Herne 0.8, so yeah, both pretty low. You can even check the skill there if you want, but we will actually check those after. So let's just show to you how would be like a summon. You do this and see, we low rolled. I will try literally all 8 fast forward, and as you can see I used 8 stone and got no Tamamo. So like, I mean, you can do this because actually you can get those stones for free inside the game, so I always will suggest you to keep those stones for a limited time when there is like this limited with really good guardian, but is actually pretty hard to get them inside because as I showed you, it's 0.2%. When instead, if you want to have more chance, you can get the NFT version. But how to do that? Forget the NFT version instead. There are 2 ways. The first one is literally on GOG site. You can buy the prayers, sacrifice and try to eggroll the NFT. The second one will be the secondary market. So as you can see, those are the prayers. I will leave even the link in the description if you want to go to buy them. So there are 2 main prayers. One is Zealous and one is Pious. So the Zealous is like 0.036, that is like, as you can see there, 120 bucks, and this one instead is like a third of it, 40 bucks I would say. And they obviously have different chance, 50% for get Tamamo there and 5% there. So if you are literally just going for Tamamo, is better this one, because I mean, if you just make math, there you should find a Tamamo every 2, when instead there every 20. So if you make this price multiplied by 2 and this one multiplied by 20, you will see that is for sure better this one if you just want Tamamo. But actually guys, you can even increase more your chance utilizing other things, like for example a Pious prayer. It will give you a 50% chance for Tamamo, 45 for Herne and 50% or of another epic guardian. When instead, if you utilize an epic guardian, so if you ban an epic guardian, you buff those probabilities, and if you utilize a Zealous prayer, you get 50% of Tamamo as we said, and 30 and 20. But if you buff it with 3 epic guardian and a legendary, you get 80% Tamamo. So if you are going for this path, I would suggest you for sure to buff the prayers. Although guys, keep an eye on the secondary market, because as I said, a prayer of this that has 50% of chance without the buff costs like 120 bucks, and if you go on the market, Tamamo is at 108 bucks. So yeah, really keep an eye even on the secondary market. I mean, the only thing that, to be honest, make me think that maybe you want to go this path is that you can eggroll even the higher chroma, so like warrior, elite, champion, when instead there you can't eggroll because you literally buy the NFT. But if you want just to try Tamamo, I mean, this is the best price because this is 120 bucks and you have 50%. This one is 100 bucks and you have 100% of get it. And this is actually why I will actually buy this live, because I want even to show you the skill of Tamamo. So yeah, I just bought it, and now let's jump inside the game for see how this guardian is. So let's go check what they actually do. As always, when you buy the NFT like on Token Trove or even just on prayers, you have to go on Vault for make those NFT inside the game account. So let's ship those 2 NFT for try them. Okay, so let's start with Herne. It is a Terra domain and is a tank, so essentially his job in your team is mostly to just tank all the damage. The gear will be a strength gear, and you want to build a lot of defense in this gear because, as I said, it's a tank, so the purpose of this guardian is just to take a lot of damage. Let's go check the skill. So the ultimate is Incarnation, that essentially the farther Herne is from the enemies, the more damage reduction he has. So this is really strong against like the ranger or the magic, that essentially essentially most of the time make damage from behind, so it will be more far, so will take less damage. And then instead the active, because it's still an ultimate, is that it becomes immune and will power up its basic attack, in this case of 200%. So to be honest, for be an ultimate it's a bit underwhelming, at least the active part, while instead the passive I still have like to understand the number, but it can be pretty good in a tank. The second skill is Spirit of Elk, essentially that summon an elk that charge the enemy, dealing 260% of attack as physical damage, posing even a knockback. I think this skill is pretty actually solid, even because it can target multiple enemies and it makes even a pretty solid amount of damage for being a tank, and it even knockback. So yeah, it's actually a really solid CC, as you can see there from the skill, and the CC are always good in this game. And as I said, it actually push even a solid amount of damage, so this is for sure a good skill to power up. The last skill is Divine Tree. When hit by a melee basic attack, I have a 10% of chance to stun the attacker for 3 seconds, and it becomes a 20%, 25 and 30%. This is probably a bit underwhelming, like for example in Adventure and Endless, where your opponent are like minion, that is not a huge difference to just stun them. When instead, like for example in Arena, this can be really juicy, because like if you stun, their carry can literally change the game. And actually in Arena and Endless this can still be good, because you can reroll, like you can restart, try multiple times for try to aggro some good stun and try to win the game in this way. But it's for sure a solid passive to have on your tank, because I mean the purpose of this guy, as I said, is just to take damage. So if when attacked it can even stun your opponent, it makes totally sense. So I would say choose skill pretty good, the ultimate is a bit underwhelming in my opinion. And now instead let's go check the good part of this video. Tamamo, that is a legendary from Vulos domain, is a mage and is actually a really solid mage in my opinion. It's super good and has a really strong CC, as we will say later. So the gear Tamamo is a magic, but actually as we will see later, it has not a huge amount of damage on her skill, but is more CC based. So I don't know, to be honest, if building literally like magic power on this is good. I still have to understand it. For sure it's like pretty good even accuracy, because generally in this type of games accuracy links like to the buff or even CC control that this guardian has a lot. So let's go check actually those CC. So the ultimate is Mind Break. All enemies fall asleep for 4 seconds. After waking up they are damaged for 25% or 35 like in this case, up to 40 after waking up. So you stun them essentially for 4 seconds, and when they wake up they take 40% or 35% the damage they took while asleep. So for 4 seconds they still take the damage, and at the end of the 4 seconds where they all were stunned, they even take 40% more damage. This skill is huge. This ultimate is super amazing. Strong CC literally make asleep all the team for 4 seconds and even push damage on top of it, and not a few, like up to 40% of all the 4 seconds together. So you can even combo this like the other ulti and use all together for make all the damage while this ulti is going. So essentially you make a combo making all the damage together and proc a lot of damage on this ulti. This ulti is amazing literally everywhere, so Adventure, Endless, but most importantly on Arena, because sleeping your opponent team for 4 seconds in Arena is literally huge, like because the majority of the game is actually end in like 10-20 seconds, so 4 seconds of literally total stun is huge. Then let's go check the second skill, that is Soul Drain. It will teleport behind a random enemy and stun them for 3 seconds and then drain 7% of HP every second. So essentially since it's 3 seconds it will be 21%, up to 33%. You stun them for 3 seconds and steal 33% of their life. So it's even a sustain, because guys this is not a damage, this is drain. So essentially Tamamo take the health that is taking from their opponent. So even this skill is really amazing because it's still a stun. So the only thing I probably don't like a lot is that it's a random, so it can go even on the tank or it can go on the carry. So if it goes on the carry is really good. If it goes on the tank is maybe a bit worse, but still at the same time the tank has more HP, so you will steal more health because it procs actually on the percentual. Then the third skill is Allure, that is mind control random 2 enemies at the backline and have them slowly move towards Tamamo for 3 seconds. This skill can actually be a huge CC. Yes, it's random, but it's random on the backline. So essentially of the 3 behind, you will move 2 forward, and this is huge. Like if they have a really strong front line where literally tank all the damage, you can still bring the carry forward, and then obviously since they are a lot more squishy, literally like one shot them. So this is another CC super strong, most importantly even in the arena where the guardian are literally placed in a team with a purpose, and you actually can bring the ones behind in the front line. The last skill is Fox Fairy. That is the passive of Tamamo, where every 10 seconds a lure is removed and Tamamo teleports behind a random affected enemy to inflict 150% of attack as magic damage, and then it just increase a lot. So essentially it's just teleports behind an enemy and make a really solid amount of damage. This is still good, I mean it's not amazing, but it's for sure a solid passive that can still kill those people in the behind that generally are the carry, so if you can kill the carry, most of the time you will win. Overall, Tamamo is really an amazing magic, is a really strong CC, most importantly in arena, but even in the other modes. I think this guardian is actually really huge. I mean it's really strong, all this CC, and I mean this damage is actually huge as well. As I said, you can even combo with other skill. So overall, Tamamo is a super good waifu. I mean it's literally like Harry from League of Legends but GOG version. So yeah, really pretty and most importantly even really strong. Now let's go check around with Tamamo and Herne for see how they actually play out. Okay, so as I said, I will literally just put the two of them because I want you to literally see all their skill. To be honest, Tamamo is 10 level higher of Herne, so it will for sure make better. I mean even because it's just overall a better guardian. I mean it's legendary and is a really solid legendary, but I just want to show you their skill and how they play out. Okay, so let's see. This is, see the skill from, I mean, as you saw, it actually made a really solid amount of damage, that skill, for be a tank. I mean, it's even the first room, obviously, so let's go check who made the most damage. I guess Tamamo, but he's literally, because as I said, he's like 10 level higher and still solid amount of damage even from Herne, and as you can see, both tanked their damage. So now actually let's utilize the Tamamo ult, and is the one that will sleep everyone for 4 seconds. As you can see, everyone is getting slept, and then when they wake up they take the damage. Obviously in this situation is a bit bad because we don't have the other part of the team that is making the damage, because as I said, the damage depends of the 40% of damage they are taking. But if you don't have a team that is making damage, obviously this kill is pretty bad because like you just sleep them without making damage. But generally you should have a team that make the damage and that will proc on that damage and will be really huge. Now instead let's utilize the Herne ult. As I said, this is a bit underwhelming in my opinion. Like, I mean, it makes a solid amount of damage, like attacking, because it gets like the double of the attack, but it's a bit slow, I would say. I mean, it's probably solid. Now guys, that you both saw both of the ulti, I showed you everything you had to know. Tell me if you want other things about this two garden. But with that, I remember you to check these two videos, one about the 33 tips on Guild of Guardian, the other one about the best budget team in Guild of Guardian. And I will remember to you that I will actually even start to stream Guild of Guardian here on YouTube, so if you don't want to miss out, enter in my Discord, because I will ping when I will go live, and probably a lot of time I will even do giveaways, like the one of today's video with Herne. So be sure to follow me, and I guess see you to the next video.